I saw the fire cross the northern sky while closing the chicken coop. At first I thought it was just a meteor, one of those that fade before they touch the ground. But this one didn't fade. It cut the night like a torch through black velvet and ended with a sound that shook the mountain behind my property. The dog started barking, and the snow that had settled on the barn roof slid off all at once. Something deep inside me said I should stay in the house, but I grabbed a flashlight and went out anyway. The wind carried the smell of burnt ozone and something metallic. Over the ridge, the snowfield glowed faintly violet. I walked half a mile through the drifts until I found the furrow it had carved, a long black scar in the white. At the end of that scar lay something that definitely wasn't a rock. Smooth, curved, breathing steam. A thin seam opened on its side with a sigh, and a figure fell out. She hit the snow as if the sky had dropped a doll made of glass. Her skin shimmered bluish under my flashlight, her hair the color of winter clouds. From a wound near her ribs spilled liquid that froze before it touched the ground. She looked at me once, eyes completely dark, and whispered, "Don't call the authorities." Then she collapsed. I wasn't thinking clearly. I just knew no ambulance would reach this far into the valley. I wrapped her in my jacket and carried her home. She weighed almost nothing, light like a bird under the coat. By the time I reached the porch light had gone out from the wind. Inside, I laid her near the stove, threw more wood on the fire, and checked the wound. Whatever that blood was, it steamed against the air. Her breathing was shallow, her skin cold but not dead cold. Then suddenly, her hand gripped my arm. "There's a medical kit in my ship, compartment B7. I didn't ask how she knew English. I just went. The crater was still glowing when I found the case, smooth, seamless, warm to the touch. Inside were vials filled with pulsing blue light. When I returned, she was half conscious, guiding my hand to her neck. "Inject this, here." I pressed the trigger. The wound sealed like ice closing over a pond. She exhaled and the color came back to her face. Later she would call them nanobots. That night, I sat by the fire, staring at the woman who had fallen from the stars, wondering what the hell I had done bringing her into my house. Morning came gray and silent. The dogs were gone, hiding somewhere in the woods. I was cooking bacon when I heard her voice behind me. "I wouldn't eat that," she said softly. "It smells primitive." I turned. She stood near the window wrapped in my blanket, bare feet on the wood floor, studying everything like a child at a museum. "You can talk," I said. "You can listen," she replied. Her accent was strange, too precise to belong anywhere on Earth. I'm Jack, I said. "Designation Lyra 9, she answered. "You may call me Lyra." She watched me fry eggs and asked, "Why is the fire contained inside a box?" "It's called a stove," I said. "Keeps the place alive." "Alive," she repeated, testing the word. We ate in silence. She tasted food like it was information. On her wrist blinked a small disc, and every blink made a faint chirp. "Recording?" I asked. "Observing," she said. "It's what I was sent to do." Outside, snow started again. Heavy flakes drifting down without sound. I spent the afternoon fixing the fence line while she followed, barefoot in the snow that didn't seem to touch her. She asked about the generator, the horses, the weather. She asked how long I'd lived alone. 5 years, I said. Since my wife decided people were easier to love than land. Was she right? Probably. Her device blinked faster when I said that. That night she reorganized my kitchen, moved the coffee tins, the knives, the batteries. "It's more efficient this way," she said. I didn't argue. Efficiency was better than silence. 3 days later, the storm came. The wind howled through the valley like it wanted to scrape the mountains clean. We lost power by nightfall. I lit lanterns, filled the stove, and found her sitting by the window, watching the sky flash purple through the snow. "This is my first Earth storm," she said. Her skin glowed faintly where the firelight touched it. "You're shaking," I told her. "It's not fear," she said. "It's adaptation." When the wind ripped part of the roof loose, I grabbed her hand and pulled her toward the cellar. She laughed once, sharp and surprised, when we stumbled down the ladder. Her laugh sounded like chimes frozen in water. In the flicker of a single candle, I saw thin veins of blue light move under her skin like lightning captured inside glass. "You're glowing," I said. "It happens when I'm afraid," she admitted. "We're not going to die," I said. "You lack sufficient data to support that conclusion." I laughed, and for the first time she laughed back. The house shook, but it didn't fall. When the storm passed, the world outside was buried chest-deep in snow. The barn door was gone, the radio tower bent like wire. We spent days digging paths between the house and the generator shed. By the 5th day, I'd stopped wondering if she was real. She sat by the stove reading one of my old manuals, her eyes moving too fast to belong to a human. "Your species documents everything," she said, "but you don't understand loneliness." "Maybe because it's the only thing we don't need to write down," I said. That evening she showed me her wrist device. A projection flickered above it. Maps, chemical charts, human DNA. "My people are losing our world," she said quietly. "The star we orbit is expanding. Every year we lose another city to the heat. We need a new home." "So you're exploring," I said. "Evaluating," she corrected. "To see if you can coexist with us, or if you must be removed." I stared at her. "And what have you decided?" "I haven't," she said and turned the projection off. A week later, the valley froze so solid the trees cracked at dawn. She came to me by the window and said, "I've disabled the recorder." Her voice trembled slightly. My true mission was reconnaissance. Observation before colonization. But I no longer trust the directive. "You're saying your people plan to take Earth." "They will if I report compatibility. They believe survival is justification enough." "And what do you believe?" She looked at the mountains where the sun was trying to climb but couldn't. "I believe I found something I was not programmed to feel." I didn't know what to say. The silence between us was heavier than the snow outside. Finally I said, "If you want to stop them, lie." She nodded slowly. "I will, but lies have gravity." That night she took me to her ship, half buried in ice. Inside, walls pulsed like living metal, breathing faintly. She showed me holograms of her world, vast domes under a red sun, cities collapsing into fire. "We need a planet," she said, "but not at the cost of yours." She touched my chest gently, fingers cold as snow. "With you I know coexistence is possible." I didn't think. I just kissed her. Her lips were colder than air and tasted of ozone and rain. When she pulled away, her eyes were wet. "If I report emotional compromise," she said, "they'll send another. Someone efficient. Someone cruel. So what do we do?" "Nothing that leaves a record," she said. "In 10 days, they'll come for me." The 10 days slipped by like a dream. We fixed the roof, rebuilt the fence, listened to the ice groan in the river at night. She learned to drink coffee, one sip at a time, grimacing. I learned that silence didn't hurt when she was in the room. But every night she stared longer at the sky, at the point where her rescue would come. When the ship finally arrived, it came quietly. No thunder, just a ripple of wind that sent snow spiraling from the trees. Its lights spread over the valley like dawn. She stood in the doorway with my coat around her shoulders.
"Come with me."
"Come with me," she said. "Please." I didn't pack a thing. I just followed her through the snow. Behind us, the farmhouse faded into the white, the lamp in the window shrinking to a single star. Inside the craft, gravity turned sideways for a second, and the valley fell away beneath us. Through the viewport, I watched the fields and trees disappear, the world flattening into shadow and then into blue. "Will you regret this?" she asked as Earth became a circle of light. I thought about the house, the dog, the silence. "Regret requires something worth staying for," I said. Now, months later, I write this from another sky. 2 suns rise here, one gold, one pale white. Lyra walks among violet crops that grow twice as fast as corn ever did. We built a cabin by a lake that glows at night. The air tastes clean, sharp, electric. We're not alone. Other ships have come. Humans who chose love over gravity, and her kind who chose mercy over conquest. Lyra's device says it's day 387 without isolation. She's pregnant. We don't know what our child will be, human, alien, or something entirely new. Sometimes, when the larger sun sets and the air turns the color of frozen fire, I remember that night on Earth, the storm, the sound of her laugh against the wind. People say love falls from the sky. They're wrong. Sometimes it crashes into the snow and you have to decide whether to dig it out or follow it into the stars.